podcast where we equip and inspire leaders to become leaders people want to work for. We inspire leaders to dream big, live boldly, and lead with purpose. I am your host, Dr. Maurine Kwende, and I am a learning leader, educator, executive leadership coach, facilitator, author on a mission to empower leaders to become leaders people want to work for. So every month we do pick a theme on the podcast. So this month's theme is titled The Power of Renewal, Reinventing Yourself and Your Leadership. So last week we talked about why every leader needs a fresh start and how renewal begins with letting go of what no longer serves us. And this week we take the next step. It's time to bloom. Yes, you heard me. This is the season of spring, so it's time to bloom. Today's episode is called Bloom into Leadership. It's all about empowering and embracing the courage to take it, to grow, evolve, and show up fully as a leader, the leader that you're called to be. So spring is really a season of blooming. That's where the title is from. It's about blooming. But as we know that, we look at the flowers, everything is in full bloom mode. We know that it didn't just happen, right? It is coming after months of being buried and after months of being still and sometimes stretched. So this is the same for true leadership. To bloom to leadership is to become visible, to take up space, to lead boldly even when it's uncomfortable. Bold leadership isn't just about being bold, but I would say it isn't, let me say this, it isn't about being loud and or fearless. It's about being clear with your values, aligned with your vision, and being unapologetic about your purpose. It's about doing it afraid and still doing it anyway. It's about having the courage to take the next step before you can have it all figured out. Many times people don't move forward because they're thinking, I don't have it all laid out. But we're looking at bold leadership here, as in you don't know what the next step is. You just need to take that first step. So here's what bold leadership might look like for you this season. It might look like saying yes to opportunities that scare you a little. It might look like saying no to things that drain you and distract you from your purpose, including relationships. It also looks like speaking up in rooms where your voice matters, even when it shakes. It looks like making those strategic decisions that align with your future, not just your comfort zone. It looks like advocating for yourself and for others with confidence, doing it afraid, but doing it anyway. Bold leadership is choosing growth over perfection. It's choosing alignment over approval. So now that we know what bold leadership might look like this season, I want to share my own personal story, my own journey, where I had to decide, play it safe or stay hidden or bloom, even if it meant being uncomfortable. I remember when I was, I have so many examples I can give, even when in terms of launching my own business, even when I was writing my own book, right? Because last week I shared I just published the second edition of my book titled Dream Big and Live Your Dreams Boldly. When I was starting off, I didn't even know what I was going to do. I didn't have any experience, nothing. But I had to tell myself, there's someone out there waiting for my story. There's someone out there waiting for this book so they can live their own dreams. They can also fulfill their own purpose. By not stepping out to write that book, I was holding someone from becoming who they're meant to be. So this took a lot of courage. This took a lot of strength. I had to dig deep within me to find out what I needed to do to make that first step. So stepping into new spaces as a speaker, as a leader, and all of that, it didn't come from certainty. It came from clarity and commitment. I remember the first time I had to speak in public. It took a lot of shaking. It took a lot of sweating, but I did it anyway. And I made some mistakes, yes, but I learned from them and I moved forward. So there's a price to pay. What price are you willing to pay? The price of not attempting, or the price of failing forward and still doing it anyway? So let me tell you this. From my experience working with other leaders, with other people, organizations, even from my own experience working with my own household, my children, every bold step creates an opportunity for impact. You don't have to bloom overnight, like I shared the metaphor about blooming in the spring. But you have to make the decision to grow, even if it's one petal at a time. So let's pause here and reflect for a second. Where are you being invited to bloom right now? What bold decision or action have you been avoiding? How would it feel to step fully into that leader you're becoming? You don't need a full plan. You just need to take the next courageous step. So here's your challenge this week. I want to challenge you to choose one bold step, just one, that aligns with who you're becoming. It could be pitching an idea, or applying for a new opportunity, or delegating an employee, or having that difficult conversation, or resolving conflict, or showing up more fully in your space. Whatever it is, I want to challenge you to write it down, commit to it, and take action. You are ready to bloom. You were never meant to stay buried in potential. This is your season to rise, to bloom, and to lead with boldness. Okay? So I want to encourage you to just keep taking that step. Next week, we'll explore the idea of legacy leadership, how to build something that lasts and lead beyond you. Until next time, keep dreaming, keep leading, and keep blooming.